Readers who have delved deeply into Tolkien's legendarium, especially the Silmarillion, will of course have encountered the beings called the Valar, the powers or the gods of Middle-earth. One of these that might be well known to readers is Elbereth, who even has a hymn sung to her in the Fellowship of the Ring. But who or what are the Valar? Tolkien himself said that the Valar were created spirits of high angelic order. So he identifies them as angels and archangels. And he even goes further and he explains that in Middle-earth, people might call on the Valar for help as a Catholic might on a saint. So Tolkien is suggesting that we can understand who the Valar are for the people of Middle-earth in the same way that we understand who the saints are for Catholics. But of course, in order to understand that analogy, we have to understand a little bit about what saints are for a Catholic like Tolkien. So Tolkien understood the saints to be members of the communion of saints, that massive body of people who have died in friendship with God, gone through the cleansing pangs of purgatory, and are now fully in God's presence, alive, alert, aware, and eager to help the people who are still on earth by praying for them, by being guides and mentors, and just being spiritual friends. And Tolkien himself had a number of these, we might call them the spiritual friends among the saints. One of these was the 16th century English Catholic St. Thomas More. And Thomas More had the misfortune to be Lord Chancellor of England at the time that Henry VIII broke away from Rome and established the Church of England as separate from the Catholic Church. And when Henry declared that everyone would have to swear an oath of supremacy to him and reject the supremacy of the Pope as the head of the Church, Thomas More said, "I can't reject the supremacy of the Pope," and he was executed for that. And Tolkien greatly admired a biography of Thomas More written by his Anglican friend, R.W. Chambers. It was published in 1935, the year that Thomas More was canonized, and Tolkien said he found it deeply moving, and he even read it twice in quick succession, adding that he found the whole topic to be burningly topical. Another, quite different saint whom Tolkien admired was Saint Bernadette, who was a 19th century French peasant girl. Uneducated, illiterate, and very humble, she had a series of visions of the Blessed Virgin Mary in the place called Lourdes, which is now a major pilgrimage shrine and destination. And a third saint, whom Tolkien greatly admired, was Saint John the Evangelist, the author of the fourth Gospel. He felt a connection in part because of the shared name. Although Tolkien knew that his own name was a family name and wasn't connected to the saints, he still liked that they had the same name. And his birthday falls within the period of celebration of St. John's feast day. So he felt that connection. And St. John is also the patron saint of writers, and intriguingly, his symbol is the eagle. That's the symbol of him as the author of the Gospel of St. John. And the eagle has a particular significance in Middle-earth. If you notice, in The Hobbit and again in The Lord of the Rings, when the eagles show up, there's going to be some sort of catastrophic climax. It's going to seem that all is lost, but in fact, Providence is acting.